have a question that fits this general theme, since voters are trying to figure out what this job's going to be, but they're also trying to figure out who you are. And maybe if you all can remember it, we'll just go down the line from Paul Zuckerberg. What did you write your essay about when you were applying to law school?
10, 9.
I was in sales in New York, and I had my dream. I graduated college, and I was making a lot of money living in New York, but I was selling a product, and whether you bought my product or someone else, it didn't really matter. And I went to law school because I wanted to do more. I wanted to change the world, and that's what I think I wrote about.
Latifah Williams.
I wrote about my commitment to public service. At the time when I was in college, I was one of the leaders in an organization, a mentoring organization with a local elementary school. So I saw the impact that my mentoring a local elementary school student had, and I was very active on their campus with a variety of issues. So that's what I wrote my essay about. But then it became ironic that later on I found out the impact of my own grandmother in the law in the Williams versus Walker Thomas case. I ended up finding out that she was the plaintiff in that case about 2 weeks before I started law school, right when she passed away. So I didn't have the opportunity to talk to her about it. But just to know her role in such a landmark case, and it's, it's for those who don't know, it's a case where she, was a single mother of 7 children, and she bought a lot of furniture on an installment plan, and she owned the furniture. She paid. Well, she didn't own it. She had the furniture. She paid for it for years, and then she missed one payment, and they came and repossessed all the furniture.
It was an unconscionable contract.
Right. It was an unconscionable contract, and that's the legal principle that was set. So and then after that just really stoked my interest in public service, and I've dedicated, for the 13 years since I've graduated from Georgetown Law, I've dedicated my career to public service.
Smitty Smith, what did you write?
Maybe not surprisingly, similarly, the power of the law to affect positive social change. I grew up in a part of town that was pretty rough, and not many kids got first chances, let alone second ones. And I saw the impact of laws that were disproportionately enforced against some and not against others. And when I was in undergrad, I went from Anacostia to Brown and then Harvard Law. I was something of a fiery activist. And I went to law school because I saw the opportunity for me to use the power of the education that I had obtained and the power of the law degree that I would gain to affect positive social change and help communities like the ones I came from. And so I thought that indeed it would be an appropriate subject for my essay to write about exactly that and what I would do with the law degree and what I've been doing in my time in public service.
Carlos Sain, what did you write?
Sure. I certainly wrote about the importance and criticality of public service. But I wrote about that with a strong emphasis on leadership. You see, I come from a family where my mother is a leader in her community, both with respect to education and certainly for any issue related to empowerment of women. My father was the mayor of his town, a small town in Haiti, and all my father wanted to do was to be able to provide for the basics. That was electricity, clean water, and food, and some decent employment for the folks who elected him. I wrote about leadership because I understand that leadership matters. I understand it matters because you need a real leader who can deliver all of the promises that folks might say about when they're running for office. I think leadership matters, frankly, and most importantly, because leadership allows for young kids to be able to dream about what it is that they can achieve. I'm running for Attorney General because I want the citizens of the District of Columbia and kids who live here to know that they can have an elected leader who knows what he's doing, who's honest about what he's doing, and who has achieved that which he said he was going to do.
Lori Masters, what did you write?
Well, you're testing the memory banks here. But I grew up in the women's rights era, and my dad told me at the time that I couldn't be a lawyer. I could be a secretary. I could be a nurse, but I couldn't be a doctor. And I had my mom say no you can be what you want. And I really wrote about that, and why I wanted to go to college, why I wanted to really have a career and do something where I thought I could be an active participant in changing women's roles so that women could be whatever they wanted to be. So it's part of why I've fought for women and girls in trafficking cases, and it's part of why I've done all the work I have on diversity and inclusion issues to try to make sure that everybody in the law firms I've worked in and generally in my profession, and I think throughout society, really has an equal opportunity to succeed. So I want to bring that vision to the Attorney General's office. I think the Attorney General's office is about more than simply legal experience. It's about having a vision and communicating that to the lawyers in the office to say, we need to be not just about dollars and cents, but about what's right and about social justice.